Oh man, oh man, oh man, not again. Yeah, I learned the game from William Wesley, you can never check me. Back to back for the that didn't get the message. Back to back like I'm on the cover of Lethal Weapon. Back to back like I'm Jordan 96, 97. Whoa, very important and very pretentious. When I look back, I might be mad that I gave this attention. Yeah, but it's weighing heavy on my conscience. Yeah, and you left the boy no options. I wanna see my go insane. You gon' make me step out of my frame. You gon' make me buy bottles for Charlemagne. You gon' make me go out of my way. I waited 4 days, where y'all at? I drove here in a rave playing ARF. I'm not sure what it was that really.
What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Joel Friday TV. I am Joel Friday. Amazing stuff. Did you guys like my Drake intro? I played it because I'm coming for the chat. Oh, I'm coming for it. That was a diss record to the chat. Few announcements before we get started. Hit that like button, smack it. Lay the smack down, like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we get the subscribers up and the message out. Do it now. Help a brother out. As you guys know, we are a talk show and we are live every Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And at any point during the show, you guys know what you can do. You know, you can call in at 888-775-3773. 888-775-3773. That was my black hands. And we can talk about whatever you want. I'm here for it. If for whatever reason you can't call in, but you still have a question or comment, or you just want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV. The link is in the description on YouTube, or go directly to the YouTube live chat, hit the super chat button, send your question or comments there, y'all. I'll read them live on air. And Instagram, and Facebook, and Punchy.tv. If you have a question or comment, and you want me to read it on air, or it's just a good question or comment, remember, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV. Just type it in on the little browser. Send your question or comments there. All right. Shout out to the live chats across the board. Amazing stuff. Super chats out the gate. I'm loving it. Let me shout these folks out really quick. David Morgan. Friday, let's roll. I'm rolling, David. Right on, David. I appreciate it. Let's roll. Matthew, all rap is beta. What the? He says repent. Listen, Matthew. We're gonna talk about that today, actually. We're gonna talk about some stuff. Okay? In regards to music. You beta. No, you're not, because you sent a super chat. You're not beta. I appreciate it, Matthew. But no. But maybe some music. Amazing stuff. C-Sal said, let me ban Matthew, Joel. That's right. C-Sal, I'm about to make C-Sal a mod. She's going to ban. No, don't ban Matthew. He nice. All right. Let's get to it. Let's get into it. You guys are probably all confused right now what's going on. I got the former first lady as my thumbnail. And then I'm over here playing Drake on the intro. And, you know, it's probably all over the place looking confusing. Or we're about to make it all tie together and it's going to make sense. So bear with me, all right? Bear with me, it's going to make sense. I wanted to talk about not all things are from God, okay? And I want to go down a rabbit hole a little bit with this, just a little bit. So follow with me. But I got to go down a rabbit hole on this because I thought it's just some interesting things. This is just my theory. So you have the right to call in or super chat your disagreements or even comment in the chat your disagreements about this. This is my theory. I believe it to be true, but this is my theory, okay? So I think that in all things, well, maybe not all things, but most things, that there's a proper way to go about them, but they're not from God, okay? I think in many things, there's a proper way to go about these things, but they're not necessarily from God. And I have a few different things. A few different examples I want to bring up. Okay. The first one is like we're talking about music, right? Music. Now, I believe there's a proper way to make good music, proper way to make decent music to where it's like, you're enjoying it, but you're enjoying it in an innocent way. It's not like debauchery and all kinds of crazy stuff. There's like a positive experience, right? And obviously there's a negative way to it, to music as well. But music, there's a way to enjoy it in a positive way, right? Let's go a little bit deeper into the whole. Sex. Oh wait, I can't say sex. Oops. S. I'm just playing kids. S. Right? There's a proper way to go about it, right? Within the when you know you're gonna be with somebody for long term, you make the vows, you make the commitment, and blah blah blah, right? Stuff happens, we know. But there's obviously a proper way to go about it when the proper results come, like having children, with your husband or wife, with just one person. There's a proper way to go about S. But it's not necessarily from God. And I know that's an argument that a lot of people like to have. But the tricky thing about that is that you don't want to, there's nothing wrong with it when it's in the proper way, right? But when we think that all these things are from God, then we end up not getting past them. We identify with them and we don't move forward. And there's things that are justifiable, right, in the eyes of God, but not necessarily from him. S, in my opinion, is one of them. It's nice. You know what I mean? I ain't mad at it. I'm not complaining. But I'm just saying. I'm just being real here, okay? So S is another one. And then there's marriage, right? Marriage is not the end all be all. That's not the ticket. A marriage and a family. Those are nice things and can be done in a proper way. But having a family is not necessarily from God, right? He didn't say you got to have a family. The way to him is through a family. It's not from God, but you can do it in the proper channels to where God is involved, you know what I mean? And it's as healthy as it can be. But also you overcome your identity to a family, your attachment to family, attachment to your children. These things must be overcome as well. Thomas More says, God said, be fruitful and multiply. What do you think he was talking about? Listen, God did say it because, like I said, God has anointed some things to be justifiable, but it doesn't mean that they're necessarily from him. But marriage is good. It's not a bad thing. And S is not a bad thing either. No, S ain't a bad thing. Okay, I'll chill. Let me chill. But it's not an identity. It's not something that you like should think it's love or think that it's a godly experience and that it's God's way of showing that you love the person. I just don't look at it in those kind of ways. Right? Joel, are you nuts? So that's that. But and then there's language. Then there's language, right? This one is probably the one that is the most trickiest, right? Follow me down this rabbit hole, y'all. We're gonna get to the point of it all. But let's language. Language is the most interesting one to me because language seems to be the biggest setup. Because there's a proper way, like we're talking about, to conversate and to use words, right? Whether it be to like have a podcast and to say like certain things, say the right things, you know what I mean? And to deliver a message or speak wisdom, speak life, you know, all that stuff, right? There's a proper way to go about it. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't think that words and language is from God. I think it's just a tool, but a tool that is too much. I'm gonna give you an example. Think about how Satan speaks to us versus how God speaks to us. Satan is all words. Satan is words in the mind, whispers and talk constantly. Why? To have to deceive, to trick, to set up, right? He's all about words. What is God about? God is a voiceless voice. It's not words. It's revelation. It's understanding. It's the light. You just see. You just see and you know. And that's why God says to be still, be quiet, right? And that's because in quietness, you understand, you can see. But in the mind, you hear voices, talk, words. You know what I mean? And language in itself just sets us up. If you think about it, it's a setup. Like if I say that I have fear, right? If I say I have fear, it's setting myself up to identify with fear, to identify with it. It's a trap. If I say I am a heterosexual male, I am a homosexual male, that's a setup. Those are setup words. Why? Because now I think that that's who I am. I am not heterosexual. I am not homosexual. I am not fear. I am not anger. These are things that creating identity based off of the words we use. If we're not paying attention, right? If we're not aware. Obviously, we have to communicate. We live in the world we live in today, of course. We have to communicate. But I imagine at one point when all the words that we have now didn't exist, that was probably a lot easier to understand people, a lot easier to overcome, a lot easier to operate on earth without all these words and definitions. I mean, look at the school system, look at the feminist movement, look at the indoctrination, look at all these things. It's all just terms and definition. He, her, she, him. LGBTQSIALM. All these things are just words and tricks and all these things to convince. You know what I mean? To identify. So I think that the Bible makes a point when it says, Joel is suffering. The Bible makes a point when it says to be slow to speak and quick to listen. Because also in our words, we reveal too much too. We say too much. We talk too much. We overdo it. We get passionate. We get angry. We argue. So, yeah, I just wanted to see what you guys thought about that. I just don't want us to identify with things as so godly and stuff like that. It can be directed in the right way, but all things we must overcome. All things. But I do want to give you guys an example of a proper way of going about a certain situation. Hold on. Hold up here. Let me check I do want to tell you guys a proper way to go about a certain thing. And I want to give you an example because by no means am I saying that we don't still enjoy life, enjoy things, and get married, have children, date. Because like I said, there's a way to go about it. And one thing that's proper and one example of order that I want to show you is Donald Trump and Melania, okay? I didn't know this. And I just randomly seen a little clip of Melania being interviewed on Fox News, okay? And it was actually on Donald Trump's YouTube channel. He posted it. And she talks about in the first 5 minutes, she talks about exactly what I bring up on my show. And I had to bring it. Because there's a lot of talk and conversation about Donald Trump's character. Oh my gosh, everywhere I go, it's always, no matter who, everywhere I go, it's always that Donald Trump is a bad man. He's mean. He's deranged. He's evil. This is not even a lie. These are real things that are being said. And they always have some bad things, negative things to say about. He speaks too much. He talks down to people. He's an evil guy, all this stuff. And to me, just like to look at the proof in the pudding. Okay. I like to just pay attention and see for myself and make sense of it. Right. And I can't help but every time I don't search for it, I don't seek it out. I don't go up and dig on Donald Trump's YouTube channel to find out if he's a real person or not, or if he's evil or not. I don't do none of that stuff. But little things just keep coming across my desk that continue to allow me to realize that this man is a decent guy, a real guy, a grounded guy. And he may have his mess. He got a little issues. Everybody got their little issues. He overcome whatever. But he's a real guy. And then Melania too. I didn't know she was too. But I guess if the man is, then the woman is. If the husband is, then the wife is. And it's proof. I'm going to show you right here. Here's an example of order. This is from Donald Trump's YouTube channel. Ainsley from Fox News interviews Melania, former First Lady Melania Trump, as they talk about how Melania first met Donald Trump. Here we go.
Meeting Donald Trump. How did you meet him?
We met at a party, and you could read a whole chapter in the book.
Yes, you were at the Kit Kat Club, and
Yes.
there was that moment of connection. And then you refused to give him your number, and you asked for his number, and you went on a modeling shoot in the Caribbean. And while you're down there, you couldn't stop thinking about him. And so you came home, and you called him. What happened?
We went to on the first date, if you could call it a date.
Because it was mixed with professionalism too.
Correct,
right?
and I completely understand now that I know him more.
Yes.
It was so him. And I liked in one way about it because I was the same, and I love the vision that he had and the connection that we had. So it was very special.
You get in the car and he drives you to Bedford, and outside of the city, an hour outside of the city, and he wanted to show you a business or some property that he had.
Mm-hmm.
So he was combining business with taking you on a first date.
And it was very nice because we were two of us alone in the car for hour and a half. And it's no other noise, no other people, because at that time he was already known and a celebrity. So it was really nice to be just two of us.
Yes. Did you fall in love then?
Lord.
It was a connection. Mm-hmm. It was a connection.
Mm-hmm. You said our chemistry was undeniable. Our connection felt natural. In private, he revealed himself as a gentleman, displaying tenderness and thoughtfulness.
Okay, so let me explain the point here. Is, for one, there's just a few things that I caught here. Maybe most people won't catch it, and that's fine because it's so like discreet on what you said there. Is that Melania pursued Trump. She pursued him. Now, she said that after she got his number, and I guess she said she couldn't stop thinking about him or something, and she decided to call him, and she loved the fact, she just loved his vision and she loved him. And I like the fact that she displayed this because maybe she's familiar with the order, or seem like they just living life, but she pursued him. And it further proves my point that Trump is just a strong guy, naturally, because when a man is strong, when a man is tough, he attracts things unto his life, right? And I'm not talking about because any man can just attract women, right? That's not hard to do, but I'm talking about he attracts the right things unto his life. And Melania is saying that she pursued him. But not only that, when Ainsley, Lord have mercy, Ainsley's the interviewer, she was like, was it love? Was it love at first sight? Or whatever she said. And Melania kept it real. She was like, it was a connection. It wasn't no love. It was a connection. And that's how I know that I don't know Melania. I don't know these people, but these little signs of just solid people, because any other person, most ladies would be like, yes, the sparks were flying and love at first sight. It was so real. It was magical, right? They would explain it in that way because the emotions are just caught up. They're just caught up in the emotions. But Melania was like, there was a connection. I ain't saying it was love, but there's a connection. There was a connection there. And that's true. That's all it is, though. It's just a connection. And then later on in this interview, She says that they didn't get married till 6 years later. So they had this strong connection. They have everything, and they still didn't marry right away. They still didn't get married right away. You know? And I don't know, it just, to me, it's like, those are just little signals of people that are just naturally walking the right way of life. They may not hit every mark. They may not hit every step, but they're being guided through the proper channels. She pursued Donald Trump. That's how it goes. Women pursue men. I say that all the time, and then all ladies think I'm crazy. That's how it goes. The women pursue men because the women have to drop their ego to pursue the man. And if the man is pursuing her, then her ego is fulfilled. But a woman has to drop her ego because it's so embarrassing to her to feel not in control, not dominant, right? But there's women who see a man and they just admire what he's into, his life. They see the light in him. So they pursue him. And they want to be a part of his world just because they see what they see. I don't know. They see what they see. They see the light. And that's what it sounds like it was for Melania. And I just love seeing little things like that. Those are the little things, to me, is that what would give somebody my vote, would give somebody my respect, is the little in-betweens. Everybody be caring about, oh, he said this about the illegals. He said this is the language. I was talking to family members, and I love my family members. Love them. But I was talking to them, and they're saying, like, he's a monster. They're using that language. He's just so messed up. He is so, but all feelings based. And that's what I was bringing up at the table. I was like, you notice that. And I was like, well, what about the things that he got done? Didn't he get things done? Yeah, but he's just mean. You know what I mean? And it's just all feeling. I'm like, okay, well, what is more important? That your life is secure, that you're safe, or your feelings? And then they can't answer, yeah, but. The people who do not like Donald Trump, it's because their feelings are hurt by it. Honestly. Their feelings are hurt by it. He's mean, he's wrong, he's this and this and that. That's all it is. And I asked my little niece, you guys know who she is. You see her in my little intro video. I asked my little niece, I'm like, niece. I won't say her name, but niece, tell your mom. I told her we're at the dinner table. I was like, tell your mom to vote for Donald Trump. I'll just mess around, and my niece goes to my sister and was like, Friday said that I should that you should vote for Donald Trump. I'm like, no, Sophia, don't say Friday said, just say, Mom, vote for Donald Trump. And my niece looked back at me, she was like, I don't like him. And I was so shocked by that. Because I'm thinking, how my little niece, little girl, know to even say that, to even think that? It has to be taught. It has to be taught or observed. It could be by the school. It could just be hearing conversations in the house. But she doesn't like somebody that she knows nothing about. And I can only explain that because she heard it somewhere. And that's the exact reason why anybody does not like Donald Trump. It's just judgment. It's just a judgment. Am I lying? Am I lying? Call in if I'm lying. 888-775-3773. I just like to look for the in-betweens and let the in-betweens be the proof of character. And Donald Trump keeps getting more and more points. And I ain't even into politics like that, to be honest. But he just be getting them little points. Points just be ticking up. And I'm like, man, that's so, I love that. And I respect Melania too. She's like, I'm getting me that man. I need me that one. I'm getting me that man. And I'm going to call him. Uh-huh. So, right on. Anyway, I just wanted to get into that a little bit. That's all. I'll get to the calls. And maybe we'll talk some more Trump stuff. I know you guys like the Trump stuff. Let me check the super chats here. Matthew says, not all T-Rex were small arm dealers. I'm nervous to even read that because I don't quite know what it means. Not all T-Rex were small arm dealers. I don't know what that means, Matthew, but thank you for the super chat, I think. It feels like a setup. But I appreciate it. Let me check the buy me a coffee. Let me check. Let me see. Right on. Lil C with a few donuts. I appreciate it. Shout out Lil C. Right on, right on. I think I didn't read this one for last week, but oh no, I did. I remember now. Right on. Okay, let me get to the calls. William from California, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Joel, thanks for taking my call.
How's it going, William?
I'm doing all right. On the subject of first ladies,
Yeah.
as far as I can remember first ladies, I can only go back as Kennedy because I was only born in 1960. So I understand Jackie Kennedy was classy and Lady Bird Johnson was classy. Tracy, or is it Tracy Nixon? I think Nixon's wife was classy, and so was Ford. And Nancy Reagan was classy. Yeah. And Barbara Bush. Now we're coming up into first ladies that you would know about. Barbara Bush and Laura Bush were both very classy first ladies. I'm going to have to say, I'm going to skip over the next one and say that Melania is very, very classy first lady. Very well liked by a lot of people.
Yeah. And you know what I just realized right now that I also like about Melania, if you think about it, Melania is not very crazy outspoken, right? Like she's not
overbearing.
Yeah. Well, I mean like that too, but I mean like you look at some other females that are in the public is that they really like talk so much. Like they're always here talking about something here.
Yes.
Melania is in the background of trying to of the Donald Trump image. Mm-hmm. She's in the background of the image, and she doesn't. She's not presented as his partner, or she's biased. Mm-hmm. She's in the background.
Wife.
Exactly, and I like that because
not a partner. That's a wife.
Exactly. And
you noticed that there were some names I didn't mention. Not to cut you off, Joel, but you noticed there were some names I didn't mention.
Yeah, I know who you skipped.
To tell you the truth, the few that I skipped were not wives.
Right.
They were more partners. They were too outspoken.
Yeah.
The show was about them.
Yep.
And like I said, Mamie Eisenhower and I think is it Mamie? I think what is he? Is it Eisenhower's wife? His name was Mamie. She was very classy from Iowa, and Richard Nixon's wife was classy. You see, the ones that you don't hear about that much are usually going to be the more classy ones.
Yeah, Mamie Eisenhower, it says here, according to Google. Mamie Eisenhower.
Okay.
But yeah,
and
go ahead.
Nixon's wife, you don't hear much about her, but she was a very classy woman. And Gerald Ford's wife, you didn't hear that much about. Nancy Reagan was very popular.
Yeah.
Because of the way that she took care of him towards the end of his life.
Oh, okay.
Because, he got very sick, similar to how Joe Biden
got
very sick. Reagan's mind was, he was getting up there in age.
Oh, I see. So how was she popular, though? When you say she was popular, how was her?
Well, Nancy, I think her and Reagan was an actor, and Nancy comes from a very powerful family, and she was just a nice, down to earth woman. Her power was there, but she didn't display it so much like Hillary. Hillary come from the Rodman family, is very powerful, and it's not so much Bill; it's her family, and she made that be known, and that took a few points from her, obviously.
Yeah,
and I skipped over the next one. Both terms, that would be Michelle. I did not look at her as being classy because I looked at her as being more of a partner than a wife.
See, and that's the point that I wanted to make too, William, is that that's the difference is like when the wives also have a voice. I don't think that it's supposed to be that way. I don't think that wives are all supposed to have a platform and a voice either. They're supposed to just be wives. You know what I mean? Let the man's affairs. Exactly. The man's affairs is president of the United States. That's his affairs. It's not you also having a voice, you also being an influencer. No, it's like I like the fact that Melania and maybe some of the other ones that you mentioned here that I'm not familiar with, but they play the background. They don't have a voice, but when you speak to them, they can present themselves, right? They can still hold a conversation. They're still smart ladies, but they're not out trying to be, a voice.
Good example is Lady Bird Johnson and Jackie Kennedy. Those two women come from very powerful families.
Nice.
But they were, they were wives.
Yeah.
They were wives. They were not partners. They were wives to their husbands. And as far as resources, money, and power, women do gravitate towards men with power and resources. Yeah. Because it shows that he's taking care of his business and he's on top of his game. That is attractive to women. Yeah. There's just no doubt about it. Yeah. You can say she's after his money all you want, but women like that because do you know why, Joel? Because you'll find out later in life when you become that way, you become more confident and you're able to pay attention to what you really like. Like if you like to go boating or sailing or something or hunting, you have more resources and you have more time to get into what you like. And women are attracted to men that have that kind of confidence and time and resources.
Yeah.
What woman wouldn't want to be taken care of?
Right. No, I get your point, William, 100%. And, there's things also that guys tend to be attracted to that aren't necessarily the priority or important, but it's nice to have, like nice to see in certain things that a woman does. And I think it's just the same way.
I don't mind. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind her having a career. My girlfriend has a career. It doesn't impress me like she may have thought it would.
Right.
Because I have my own thing.
Right.
And I think maybe in the end she respected me more for that, Cause,
because you didn't praise her for it as being like this this hardworking, woman that's so special because she has a career. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what I like is that she's able to still be a lady.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to see her call your show. You're not going to see her running her mouth over men. That ain't going to happen. She doesn't do that. She doesn't put herself in that position, and I won't allow her to do that either.
Yeah.
Because the bottom line is she will need me.
Yeah.
To protect her.
Yeah.
And you get what I'm saying?
No, 100%. And she also has, and what's important is that she knows that, right? Because
she knows it. Yeah.
When a lady doesn't know that that's the case is when it's dangerous. Because
when you hear her mouth.
Yeah.
Hear her mouth.
And then when she's competing, I remember there was one time, and then I got to keep the calls moving here, is that there was one time I had one of my neighbors in the place I was living. She was having an issue because we have a lot of homeless over here in Los Angeles, everywhere. It don't matter what city you're in, and California in general. But
correct.
There was a little homeless guy in the front, and she was having problems with him, and she had saw him. She happened to see me, and we were cool, and I helped her get rid of the homeless guy, and I just did. The way she approached it and the way I approached it was just a male versus a female, how they approach things. It was clear cut, just like that. And when I did it, I was able to get rid of him a lot faster than what she normally did. But instead of her being like, wow, I appreciate that a man stepped in and did this, instead she got jealous and was trying to compete with me on who did it better. And I'm like, that's just
not very ladylike.
You know what I mean? It's just like, no, just respect that the fact that there's things that I do that are just innately better than what you can do because that's just the way it is.
Well, I mean, if they don't need your protection, Joel, that's a telltale sign.
Right.
If they're heard too much, that's a telltale sign. That means, and even if they have a husband at home, he's not going to be that stand-up guy.
Right.
It's following her. But I'm going to let you move along.
I appreciate it, William. Thank you, man.
I appreciate you too. Take care.
All right. Amazing stuff. I didn't even really realize it until I was talking to William about, so we're talking about the partner thing versus the wife thing. It's such a big difference. It's such a big difference because partner, just listen to, and that's why this word partner is pushed, is because the ego wants to feel equal to, meaning like the ego wants to also feel important. And I love the fact that William and I were defining certain marriages, certain couples as a wife and a husband versus a partner, because the wives are the ones that, remember, she entered his world. She was added onto his world, right? So she fits in. She's like, she slides into what his operation of life, right? And then she functions there naturally, but her place was already called for, right? So she has purpose there. But she's not supposed to be neck and neck. She's not supposed to be neck and neck with them. And Melania, I don't know her life. I don't know what they got going on behind the scenes, but I love the fact that she's in the background. And that ain't a diss. That's not a put down on her as a woman either. And most women might think that. Oh, like, why is she the background? She's a strong, powerful woman. No, because that's her place in the background, because this is his thing. And when it's her time to speak, she's classy and respectful and a representation of Trump's last name. That's beautiful. You don't hear much about her life. She got a book, and that's fine. But you don't hear much about her life. You don't hear much about her gossip. You don't hear much about her having crazy opinions about things. It's not her place. We don't need to know her opinions about things. That's not her place. We want to hear Trump's opinions. We don't need Trump and Melania's opinions. And she plays the background, and it looks better on her. You know what I mean? That's just what it's about. And it ain't about who's better and who's worse, who's less than, who's more. What? She loves him and he loves her. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. And you could tell she's smart. You could just tell the way she conducts herself, the way she speaks, the way she handles life. I love it. I love it. That's enough for me. My vote. You got it. DJT, you got my vote. You got my vote. And then what's the other little boy? What's the little boy's name? Barron for president 2086, because he like he young. Barron for president 2086. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway. Joel's the same color as a maple glazed donut I had this morning. Whatever, Riley. Let me go back to the calls. JC out of Little Rock, Arkansas. JC, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, Joel. I was trying to call to talk with William.
Well, what were you going to say?
I was going to ask him what his affinity against black women is. It's something I've wondered a long time.
He had,
but I'm sorry.
All the women that I believe William has mentioned that all the women that he's dated are black women.
Yeah, that astounds me. What black woman in her right mind would be with William, because he loves to attack Mays all the time while also talking about not having called for
But is there a chance that if he's attacking Mays, that he's not attacking Mays as the black woman, but just Mays?
No, he's attacking Mays because that's an actual strong black woman.
No,
that's a strong black woman. That's mama in the community. That's a strong black woman. She's a hero.
It don't have nothing to do with color, I don't think, JC. I don't think it has to do with her color, just the things that she believes and stuff.
I would love to beat her. I would love to shake her hand. She deserves any award because that's an amazing lady. Anyways,
I love Mays. Mays is we love Mays here. We appreciate Mays.
I love her. I love Tony, Freddie, a lot of them.
Do you love William? Do you love William?
No, not at all.
You're supposed to be a Christian.
I am a Christian, but that man don't like me. That man don't like me, and I'm very glad he don't like me. He's a shameful black man.
Okay.
He's a shameful black man. He
All right.
shames our black community. I can go back on topic of what you're talking about today, because first of all, you said, well, let me ask you this from another show. Had you ever heard of a Kudos Bar?
Kudos Bar, no.
I'd never heard of that. I was like, what is a Kudos Bar? And then he said, I prefer twins. And I was thinking like Shakespeare or something. I'm like, what is he talking about?
What is that? What is it? A Kudos Bar.
It was some type of granola bar or something. I've never heard of a Kudos Bar
Who
before.
said
and
this?
I was like, that red-haired man, the Baja man. Because I was giving him, yes, on his show, he was like, I don't like Kudos. I prefer Twits and Butterfingers. I was like, what is he talking about? Because I was giving him a compliment.
I don't know about. I don't know about that, but I'm running out of time, so just get to the points that you want to talk.
I'll go back. I'll go back to where I disagree with you on.
Yeah.
So you're not a heterosexual man. You're not a heterosexual man.
If we're gonna use the terms, then no, I'm gonna say no.
Because I think, and that's why I like when James calls me a little rocket man, because I think it's because Elton John and I both wear glasses. But yes, you're definitely a heterosexual man, and I'm definitely
homosexual.
A heterosexual man.
Are you a homosexual or a heterosexual?
we get deep on this show. I'm going to have a husband one day.
Okay, so you're homosexual. Well, is homosexual male who you are?
It's part of my identity. Yes, I'm a Christian first, black man first. After that, but yes, I'm a homosexual man. I'm a queer man.
Okay, fair enough. But why can't it just be a Christian male? Why does it have to be a Christian homosexual male? Why does it have to be any of those things? Why can't it just be Christian? Because all these other things are just identities, but they don't reflect who we really are. Were you a homosexual in your mama's belly, do you think?
I mean, it is a choice that I chose to make, but it's also like the thing that represents me more and stuff. Didn't expect this question at all.
Right.
But now
I understand that.
It's who I am and stuff, and then I say definitely a gay Christian because I know a lot of like your viewers especially think that homosexuals are destined for hell and everything. That is definitely not true. God didn't create us to burn in hell, and I've said that before. But also, like,
but it's possible though.
You're a heterosexual man.
But it is possible.
Proud of who you are.
Well, it is possible for people to go to hell, though. There is possible, and there's people who can go to hell or believe that they're Christians. I'm not calling you out for this, but there's people who believe that they're Christians and can go to hell and don't get accepted into the gate. So I don't want you just to believe that that's not possible just because you believe that anyone believes that they're a Christian. And to me, do you think it sounds weird if I say I'm a straight male Christian? Did that sound weird to you?
That doesn't sound. That's who you are. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having pride in who you are and being a biracial podcaster, dancing man, a straight man. There's nothing wrong with that. Saying that you're not a heterosexual, though, that makes you sound like you're questionable. You said, I'm not a heterosexual, I'm not a homosexual. That makes it sound like either you're being questionable or you're being like just sounding idiotic. No offense.
Oh, I see.
It's like, you take a stand somewhere and be proud of who you are somewhere.
Well, the thing is, I just don't like... Oh, go ahead. Make your point.
What don't you like? Because I've got one more point.
I don't like
the first ladies.
Yeah, I don't like the identities that are attached to all these things because if we're spiritual beings, right? If we're a spirit and in heaven, we're just spirits and we're not our bodies, and our bodies turn to dust when we die. They disappear. What does color or sexuality have to do with it? That's my only thing. It's
who you are on this earth, though. It's who you are representing on this earth. It's the being that you were presented with. So be proud of who you are.
But why would I want to be? Why would I want to be? I understand what you mean by that, but why would I want to be proud of things that came about due to traumatic experiences or due to sexuality?
Are you not proud of being a man? Are you not proud of being a podcaster or being the dance teacher that you once were, being a dancer?
Well, a dancer, that's just what I do. That's just what I did. And I don't even do that much anymore. And I do a podcast.
That's your part of your identity.
It's not, because I don't do it much anymore. It's not who I am. Who I am is Joel, my spirit within, right? My spirit within. And my spirit within is perfect, meaning that there's no blemishes. Let me just make this point really quick. Let me make this point is that there's no blemishes to it. My spirit within is not a sexuality. My spirit within is not a color. It is the spirit. It's just life, and that is what is important. Not all these attachments that come with these words and groups and all those things. Because what does that do? That just divides us. Now the straights are against the homosexuals, and the homosexuals are against the transgenders, and the transgenders are against when it's just words that are being attached to false identities. Don't you agree?
T-bone connected to the thigh bone. No, I don't agree. No, I don't agree with that at all. You saying that you have no blemishes and everything, but you are afraid to even just say you're a straight man.
It's not
everybody
afraid.
knows you're a whole straight man and stuff. Or I'm just assuming. I'd be very shocked if you weren't.
No.
But,
I mean, if I'm gonna have a conversation and say, if somebody asks me, do you like girls or you like guys? Of course, I'm gonna say that I'm attracted to girls and I'm not attracted to guys. And of course, you would say that too. But homosexuality and heterosexuality is not who you are. These are just things that we're into. And ultimately, straight and homosexual are both abomination. Just straight is a little bit more justified.
Straight is, hold on, I've never known straight to be considered an abomination. I've heard everything what they say about the gay argument, but being straight is an abomination now. Joel, you crack me up, sir. Sir, where you be getting these ideologies?
It's all perversion is an abomination.
Oh my goodness. I don't think either one of them are perversions, but also, like, these are ideologies. Who you get them from? Like, please.
God.
Fake name.
God.
Not Jehovah. Not God. Not Hark. Not my God. Okay, I know you got to go. I need to say 30 seconds on your topic about wives and partners. Partner and a wife are synonymous. They're the same thing. A partner in a marriage, because a husband is a wife to a partner. Is a wife. A husband and a wife are both partners. They enter this life in a partnership of love, where they're growing lives together, where they're living together. So just to say that a wife just needs to step down and not really say anything and let the man be in control, that's not what a marriage is. Like a good marriage, that's not what a partnership is either.
So what is a partnership, though? Really quick, what is a partnership to you?
Well, like Michelle was a good partner. Hillary was a good partner. Most of these first ladies were good partners and stuff. I feel like Melania is trapped. I'm not going to doubt that.
But like,
like she's trapped in that marriage.
Okay. What makes Hillary a good partner and Melania not?
I didn't necessarily say Melania's not a good partner. I think Trump is a bad partner for her. I think it was much more of a financial agreement that she stumbled in upon, and now she's trapped in a marriage she can't escape.
Okay, what makes Hillary
Hillary had to be publicly humiliated for years by her husband, who I find to be a great president, not so much of a good husband. Would vote for him again if I had the chance to ever vote for him. But Hillary was literally humiliated by numerous women, knowing that man was married and stuff, and she still had to stand by her husband. And now people revere Monica Lewinsky as some type of like
your God, JC, is, from hearing what you're saying, your God is the woman. Everything you just said right now is, you said that you pointed out women who are quote unquote powerful, but then you disparage their husbands, and you love the women that are a strong voice, outspoken, strong women, but then you talk down about the husbands when that's their roles they're supposed to play. So your inspiration, the people who inspire you are women, so you have a bias.
No, my inspiration is right, sir. If somebody cheated on you and you chose to stay with them and stuff, I would respect you and stuff for having to still like deal with them and still love them even when they hurt you, because that shows you're a bigger and better person. My God is not my woman. Whatever you just said.
But you don't like the men.
Not a woman.
But you like.
I love men, sir. We just had that conversation.
I know, but I'm talking about, like, why don't you like masculine dominance?
I'm a masculine dominant person. I'm a very masculine dominant person. I talk to you as a masculine dominant person. It's not about man or woman when it comes to this. It's about right and wrong. It's about right and wrong. I stand for right. I'm against wrong. All
right. Well, fair enough. That's just how you believe it. I'm not going to try to convince you, but I appreciate the conversation, JC. I'm so out of time now, but right. I gave you more more minutes than I normally would to anybody because I'm like pushing the time. So
right.
I don't want you to think and I don't want you to think I was denying you or whatever you had said that last time. That's not the case.
You gave me an interesting question earlier, so good job. You always get me thinking too.
Right on, JC. I appreciate it. Call me again, and happy to talk to you.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Nice. I gotta go, y'all. I really gotta go because I gotta go. Punchy TV at 2 p.m. You gotta make sure you guys tune in and catch Punchy TV at 2 p.m. We got a guest coming on. I have her name here. We have a guest, Suzanne Wise. She's coming on and she's debating. She's a sex therapist. Ooh, you know we about to get into some stuff. And she's coming on and she agreed to talk to the four guys here. So we getting into it. Oh, we gonna get into stuff. Make sure you guys check out Punchy TV at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Coming up today, shortly, and American Anchor Baby coming at 4 p.m. I gotta go, y'all. I'm out of time. I'm back here tomorrow. Who knows what we're gonna get into. But anyway, bye, y'all. Gotta go.